What's up, YouTube? Thanks for tuning back into Chase Games here, and today I am going to share with you some tips that are pretty common within the community that are not only not applicable to newer players, they will actually, in a sense, send you in the wrong direction. You need to tell those players to shut the hell up, okay? You have to. Tell them. STFU, bro. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's try to make this video less than 80 minutes, like most of them are for me. Okay, this is one I've seen a lot. This is kind of a staple in gacha, to have a revive mechanic that costs premium currency. And players in this game will tell you, never revive! Which is just not true at all. Now, this is not something to be done casually, but as a new player, look, if you've been playing for months and you can't beat a stage, then you need to power up, get another strategy, or revive probably isn't an option for that stage. If you're farming something that you need to revive on, then you don't revive. If you're progressing through story and you need to beat that stage one time and then you can go to, more story chapters, just pay the 50 gems to revive. I've done it. I would think most players have. The idea that you should stop your progression through story, stop unlocking more modes, more stages, etc., getting more resources is silly because you'd have to spend 50 whole gems. Just spend the 50 gems as long as you're doing it very sparingly. I do mean very sparingly, but if you know that if you're confident that you will keep progressing at a decent rate, some of the boss battles in the later story chapters are ridiculous. There are mandatory, ridiculously difficult boss battles in this game, especially depending on your story. If you're on your party and your units, okay? If you're advancing through story for the first time, you don't have a box of characters, basically. Level 1s don't really count, okay? If all of your leveled units are weak to this stage or something, or just not strong against this boss, I know Red Crim can be kind of a pain. Just do a revive, get through it, okay, and then keep advancing. Okay. Event shop priority. This is really just kind of pretty general. A lot of times, especially in the past, players would say, like, you need to get this first, and this first, and this first. When you're a brand new player, the number one thing that you want to get out of the shop, actually still an iridescent orb is number one, basically. But rank materials, the lower ones too, okay, are top priority because I just made a video about this. I'm sure you guys have watched all my videos in order, but if you haven't, ranking your characters up is the key to progressing through the story, and the game in general, okay? Obviously, you'll need to level the characters as well, but you can't level them until you rank them, okay? So getting those rank mats gets you through, and, it's, it's a circle, okay? You rank them up this high, that'll let you get through this stage, and this stage will unlock a better stage to farm rank mats. You're going to be farming some of these things, but you can get a lot of them out of the way through the shop, so you can either get a head start. I remember, at least back in the day, it's probably not like this anymore, but Chapter 13, I remember being a little bit hard to do without the materials that unlocked. Well, you could get them, but at a much lower drop rate. So it's easier to advance in story if you cheat a little bit and get some of these rank materials a little earlier than you're supposed to, basically. Okay, so cheat the system and get rank mats early. And it'll also save you stam that you can, use to progress instead of farming the rank up mat stages. So, almost anything with Mendini medals. And by that, I mean, if I'm going to tell you, here's the, as long as the shop is the same that I'm showing you right now, okay, this is, September. It's almost October. Okay, it's almost October 2022. Look, it's going to be a long time until this is different. Okay, the Mendini medal shop. These are the medals that you only get through gacha. Now the silver Look, do whatever you want, but there are better things to do there. The gold and rainbow are limited, and they're very important. Let's talk about silver real quick. You can either save these up for a party meeting ticket A. Yes, you do only get these one at a time, but these are for every silver ticket you get in the gacha. So you're going to get 7, 8, 9, 10 of these every scout that you do, basically. So they add up. But it does still take quite a while to get 700, so that'll get you a ticket that you can exchange for any A-rank unit. You can only get that unit once, okay? If you get a second A-rank ticket, you can get more than one ticket, but you can't use multiple tickets on the same unit, okay? You can also use it to get an Awakening copy of that unit as well. There really aren't that many A-ranks that are important to have it only one Awakening. And it's an expensive thing to do for only an Awakening, although it's probably the best use of your silver. But honestly, they're not the problem they used to be, but you'll probably want to use it on Iris. At this point, it's kind of crazy to use them on anything else. You might be able to make an argument for all-purpose Bs, because Iris are... honestly, you're gated by gold more than anything else now. So I actually have a stockpile of Iris, which has never, ever been possible in this game. Just because I can't afford to rank things up. But that'll depend on you. But for the most part, you only want to spend it on Iris and meeting ticket A's. Silver's not as important, though. Gold, though, this changed. It doesn't feel like that long ago. For the longest time, I would either save for the meeting ticket A or the Iris, just like the silver. Just the same thing. These are what you get from A ranks in the gacha, okay? But when they added Illustrious or Iridescent Blossom Lotus Flowers, you can get 4 of these a month. That's what you want, okay? And then, well, I already spent 40 on that, and then I still have gold left over. Yeah, wait till next month. You're not going to get 40 of these medals a month. Trust me, okay? I only have this many because I've been playing since day one, basically. So, really just Blossoms only. I mean, this is for the unless things change a lot in way past October 2022, only Blossom materials there. Okay, and the Rainbow Medal. All-purpose upgrade tone A. No, never. Okay, because Iridescent Orbs, 30 of these, or 1 Iridescent Orb, not even close. Okay? I don't see Iridescent Orbs changing anytime soon because this game is pretty greedy. Now, that said, yes, the Iridescent Orb is very limited. What's even more limited is a party member meeting ticket S. It's a long name. I usually jumble it up. I think I got it right. Anyway, none of them are big words. It's just a lot of words. Okay, you can literally cash this in for any S-rank unit. Outside die, I shouldn't keep mentioning it. For a new player, don't worry about anything with Dragon Quest die, okay? Don't worry about Dragon Orbs either, okay? It's not a thing. This is like this is the holy grail in this game. But it takes 150 S-rank dupes. So after you draw a unit, if you get another copy of it, there are awakenings and things like that, but you'll also, with the gacha units only, you'll get a Rainbow Mindini medal. So right now I've got 26 of them. That means since cashing in the last things, I've gotten 26 dupes of rainbow units. Some of them were actually helpful. Probably most not. That's a whole other issue. So what I mean when I say you can do this for anything, I think a lot of gachas would limit this. Like when you say, oh, you mean something that came out a few months ago? No. Right now, in near October 2022, everybody's waiting for Erdrick, okay? When Erdrick comes out, day one, I have one of these tickets. I can get him for free. Just there you go. Now, free is I don't know if I'd use that term. I've spent some money on this game that have gotten me a lot of these rainbow medals. But okay, for no additional upfront cost, I can get that brand new gacha unit, okay? But I've been playing this game for over a year and a half, and I've gotten one. And I did, I don't know how many iridescent orbs I bought before. I know I bought at least one recently, which isn't really a good idea anymore. The only reason that I would suggest buying iridescent orbs with these is if you're convinced you're not going to be playing for a year. It's going to take you about a year to get one of these tickets. But it's so much better than 5 iridescent orbs. But 5 iridescent orbs have a lot of value. Now this is not something that you'll necessarily hear left and right. I'm reaching a little bit here, but this is almost just into advice. Be careful with your skip tickets, okay? Some players, I'm just going to be mean here. I kind of believe this. Some of it's just a little bit of a mild, fun insult. I think people with no skip tickets are idiots. Sorry, fight me. It's probably some of my guild members, so sorry. Dude, save some skip tickets, okay? I've got like 1,100 right now, and I've wasted plenty of them sometimes. You actually get a decent amount every day, okay? But if you use them every day, if every time you're going to, oh, I got to do this stage 10 times, I'll just use skip tickets instead of waiting here for a few minutes. You're not going to have any. And, you know, for a long time, you could probably get away with this. But now there are some difficult fights that actually need to be farmed repeatedly. Meaning, you know, if you get that set so that you can use a skip ticket on it, you'll figure this out. You have to fully clear the mission to use a skip ticket on it. So there have been some S-rank units, that's usually it, where they're on a pretty difficult stage that you can't auto. So you would have to do this stage manually every time for about it's usually like an 18% drop rate to get a unit. And that's basically just not realistic. It's literally not realistic. You would be a madman to literally farm the stage hundreds of times manually. Okay? You need skip tickets. And if you're some window-looking moron that uses his handful of skip tickets every single day, instead of just letting your phone do it on auto for a few minutes, you literally can't farm those units unless you go and buy skip tickets, which is totally unnecessary. Or you know, maybe you'll have enough time to save some of them up. But honestly, just don't be a dum-dum, okay? Let the game auto, okay? I'm not saying to never, ever, ever use your skip tickets. You're going to bed, you want to finish up, whatever. Yes, I do that myself, okay? But, don't do it just to save yourself, you know, 2 minutes. This is something I'm seeing in my own Discord quite a bit, and it's just something that's easy for longer-term players to not really think about. Is they're going to, you know, when players are asking, what do I orb, what's good in my box? We know all the units that have blossoms that are really, really good with them, and it's really easy to get these units for the most part. The thing that isn't easy to get are all the blossom materials that you need, okay? You'll figure this out on your own, but you can really only get enough for a couple of nodes a month, basically, to get, you know, a new ability or a new perk or something like that. You might be able to get 2 or 3 perks your first month. Again, you can get those with, you know, your Mendini medals might be able to help you. You might not even get 10 gold Mendini medals your first month, so that might just not help at all. But the first few stages are easy. You'll get a handful. But yeah, when people are telling you, you gotta orb Archdemon and Nightclubber and Queen Slime and this. No, you need to orb one of those things, and then by the time that you get enough to start working on another one, you will be able, it probably won't be too hard for you to orb something else. Or you can just plan ahead, like, yes, I should be about done with this, and then I need to make sure that I have an orb for the second unit I want to blossom soon. Or perhaps, you know, a better blossom is coming out and you happen to get that unit when they blossom. So just, yeah, just be careful. Don't orb things ahead of time that you want to blossom, basically. And then I think another part of that is, this is generally accepted, but I guess this is just a general advice. Don't think that you have to finish a blossom tree. Almost every talent on a blossom tree is good. There are some exceptions. You might, like King She Slime, you may not want to fill that tree. You may consider him better without some of those perks because he blows things away. For the most part, though, you're going to want every orb, but would you rather have one blossom unit be really good, like fully decked out. Or you could have him at, say, 80 or 90%. I want to say potency, like, you know, like of his max potential. Like, you can have like 80 to 90% of a unit's max blossom potential. And then also, like, go from there. Don't get him to 100%. Leave him at like 80%, which isn't necessarily having 80% of his grid filled. There are some units where you do, say, the top node and the bottom node. Okay, you do about half of that tree, and you are getting most of his effectiveness. And then you can go and do the same thing to another one. Instead of fully filling his tree, you can get the important things, okay? And now you have a wider roster of characters that are almost, you know, peak efficient, you know, however you want to put it, almost fully efficient, okay? It depends on the situation, but you're probably going to only want a partial blossom units for a while. I am still doing that, okay? There are a lot of good nodes and talents that I'm missing, but I would rather have more units overall blossomed and having the good stuff, having the important stuff. This is something that just isn't good for new players necessarily. Get your abilities leveled to 9 and 10. And I say this because, look, it is a good thing to do and it is useful. Gold is going to be very limited. Your first week or two, you may think, no, Chase, I have plenty of gold. Shut up. There's never, ever enough gold in this game, okay? And anybody that brags about having gold isn't doing really important things. They're not ranking their box, or they're not re-rolling equipment, they're not leveling abilities. All those things take buttloads of gold, okay? You might see some doofus named Kage bragging about having 1.5 million gold. He could spend all that gold in 20 minutes doing very important things that would help him out. But, you know, he hoards, and look, there's value to that, okay? You can choose to have lower ability levels and equipment long term. But anyway, as a new player, you probably want to aim at 5 or 6. If it's a unit that you're going to take into Arena, especially GVG, because you have other players relying on you for guild versus guild. So don't be a jerk. Go up to 8 or 9, 10 for that when you can. But just for advancing through story, get to 5, 6, 7. It doesn't take that much gold. It doesn't take that many tomes. But the higher you go, the gold cost goes up a lot. You're going to need a lot more tomes. So 6 or 7 is a pretty comfortable level. And it's pretty exponential, the amount of gold and tomes that you need as you go up. So 8 is a stretch. 9 is pretty tough. You can get lucky though. 10 though, each tome only has, I believe, a 1% chance to work. It basically drops the chance by half per tome. And each chance gets more expensive because the gold cost per tome used goes up. So not only are those tomes less likely to get you the next level, they're more expensive to take that chance. So again, you want your abilities on your best units at 9 and 10 eventually. For a brand new player, there's so many other things that you need your gold for, or just your stamina instead of farming tomes. Don't aim for 9 or 10 for a while. This kind of goes hand in hand. Reroll that equipment. You want to do this a few times. There are some missions behind it often. Some equipment is very good but useless with the base things. But here's the rerolling the equipment. The equipment in this game, the whole scenario with it, I can't think of the right word. Anyway, system. The equipment system in this game is ass. It is. It just is. Because you might never get a good roll. Realistically, you'll get something decent eventually, or, you know, you can do 5 rolls at a time. That's what I almost always do. One of those will usually be decent or passable. You should probably go with that. You don't want to do more than 5, 10, maybe 15 rolls to get something decent. You know, but for example, you'll want some equipment that has as much HP as possible as you want on it. And I tried very hard to get triple HP on one weapon, and it just didn't happen. Dozens and dozens and dozens of 5 times things, and I just couldn't get a triple HP roll. Okay, it just didn't happen. So it's all chance based, and it's a really crappy system. So just be careful about how much gold you throw away on rerolling equipment. Keep it minimal. All right, And this is another one. This is a little bit... this is another, like, inside thing in the Discord. Because friggin' Cygnus Jen, she has a YouTube channel as well. You can go sub to her, although she's been a little quiet on the YouTubes. She'll say, oh, go get orbs by going into Reminiscence. You can get this, you can get that. First of all, there's plenty of materials without going into Reminiscence. Second, this is kind of a temporary one, because if you're watching this right now in October, or even December or January possibly, I don't know when we'll get it. We'll probably get screwed and it'll be a while until like January. Reminiscence mode is going to go to 1/3 stamina permanently at a certain point in the future, so don't touch it until then, okay? Then it's going to be a great place to go get rank mats, like I said up above. You use the shops for rank mats because Reminiscence unlocks those old shops. You can go farm older units that might help you, just anything, weapons, gold. Each event has an orb basically, or one or more orbs. Okay, for now, just wait, and also get through the story ASAP. This was my last video. The number one priority is getting through the story ASAP. You don't need to do Reminiscence to get enough orbs to proceed through story. If you're getting your mini medals, if you're opening the treasure chest, if you're doing your player rank missions, etc., you have enough orbs to progress through story. You don't need to do Reminiscence. So that's it. This was only about 22 minutes. So that's better than most videos. I'm doing it now, aren't I? Anyway, that's it. Guys, as usual, join the Discord if you want to be part of my community. If you have questions, either the great Chase Games himself will answer it, or maybe one of my minions will get to you. They usually have nothing better to do. They're basically all no-life losers. So they can answer your new player questions for you. You know, my second guild right now that is more open to new players is mostly full right now. During the 2-year, we'll probably start another one that really isn't GVG focused at all. It'll just be a guild to be in. Maybe we'll build it up from there. Anyway, if you come to my Discord, I can help you get into a guild most likely, either just through CG13 or maybe a potential new one that will start, or even, you know what, I know people, okay? Because here's the thing about a guild. You want to be in one with a Discord. There's really, other than the monthly prizes, there's not much point in being in a Discord, or in a guild that doesn't have a Discord, okay? You're going to get a community, you're going to have friends, and you're just going to have people that can help you as a new player, and they'll be happy to do it, you know, you're guildies. So, anyway, I know people, I know who's got guilds. They probably have an open spot that they're okay to give to a newbie. So just come join the Discord, and we can help you out one way or another. So link is in the description. Good luck, guys, and hopefully we see you soon.